All right. Here he goes. Let's see. Can you hear me? You got me?
Yeah.
I don't see how many people in here. Patiero's in here. All right. I'll just wait for a few more people. What's going on, man?
What's up,
Uh,
man?
you got the man bun going today?
Yeah.
How often do you rock the man bun?
What was that?
How often do you rock the man bun?
Honestly, I work from home. When I'm at the gym, I usually wear like a hat, so it's like I really don't only do it when I'm home, just so it doesn't get in the way. But yeah.
This is the first that Texas is in here too. I try to get it with the try try retweeting the episode so we're live so we get more people in here. Hello, Paul Van Ball as well. How many are in here? Just 4. I just rather wait for a few more people.
Sure.
Okay, wait. Actually, well, then Twitch says there's like 17, 18. Thank you, Ari. Yeah, Matt's on time. It's more important than the wig.
Woo.
Admiral, no markers in yet. How's the wig look? I think this is like.
I think the wig is legit, man.
It is. Freaking lingerie website was the place to get this. So, if you haven't already, joined us. This is CK. Don't call it that. Don't call it that. Don't make it. No, we're not gonna do that. Don't call it that. Yeah. As you can see, I held up my end of the bargain. I'll put this on for I guess the whole episode. Who really cares? It doesn't feel that weird. But yeah, here we are. We got the wig on. Oh no, there goes the camera.
Oh no.
We're good. Keep that there. Okay. I'm not. That's a terrible choice of word. There, Fatiero. Creaming Atalanta. We could do better phrasing.
Jesus. Get it together.
He said it. He said it, not me. Yeah. So listen. Big game this weekend.
Mhm.
There are some pretty big updates regarding Milan's advantages towards this match. But we'll get into that first. I guess we should probably try and address the hat thing. I mean, listen, we talked since we did. You were not able to
I
get
wasn't
onto
on.
the Atalanta thing. I'll say this for the Atletico. Maldini scoring was hilarious because I just woke up from the nap and I was explaining this, and I think I was with Sabrina or so. I was with somebody trying to explain this, and I was like, I honestly couldn't believe that he scored that. It was like the funniest thing. I was like, Jesus Christ, I gotta do it now. And it's so fun. It's so funny because the context is just terrible. Because the clip of the video that we had that went on Twitter was because of like we were just talking in general. Because I was actually defending Daniele Maldini for a while, and a lot of people maybe have thought that. No, Matt. Admiral. Matt wasn't with us for the Atletico post match. It was just me. That's what I'm talking about. Not. I know Maldini scored against Spezia. That's what was in the clip. And I think some people maybe could have possibly taken it out of context and saying oh, he's never going to score. It's just like, all right, we'll make a bet. We'll try and make it fun. And if he were to score, which it was kind of unlikely for him to score in his first start, we didn't anticipate him playing that much, and he really didn't. And he got subbed off not too long after that. But it was a great debut for him, one of the better moments of for Milan in recent memory, and definitely one of the bigger moments in Serie A history, because that just does not happen, especially the weight of the name and the jersey and everything included. They got the win there, screwed over on Tuesday. And here we are heading into the Atalanta match this coming weekend on Sunday. I'm excited for this. Milan were fortunate for once with some injuries, Matt.
Yeah, right. I mean, we obviously are going. It looks like Junior Messias is coming back for us at least, right? We're talking on Milan first.
First full session today. Excuse me. Sorry.
I think he'll make the squad. He may get a couple minutes depending on the pace and the flow of the game. Just maybe before the international break, and then when he comes back from international break, we should expect him to be ready, like completely ready for choice. But on the Atalanta side, We were talking about in our team chat, Rafael Taloy, who was just who the fellow Halo
Omar. It's
Toxic people.
Omar. It's
Oh,
Omar.
okay. Omar. Taloy, Demiral, Gozens, Hatabor, I think is still out. He was out way
I
in
was trying
advance.
to confirm Hatabor, but I didn't see that. But yeah, it's Toloy, it's Demiral, good chance. The
Mhm.
both of them, they're not officially confirmed, but they're more than likely headed out for that. Gosens is definitely out. He's going to be out for some time for
Yeah,
Atalanta. They just got Muriel back.
which is
But
big.
listen, dude. It's big for them, but how can we not like say like their whole defense is missing? Pretty much. And
Yeah.
their wingbacks are a massive part of the creativity. If they're both starting wingbacks are out, take it, man. Listen, they got away with 3 points when we faced them when we had Mate up at the number 10. I'm taking this. I'm not going to
Even the
feel
game
bad.
where we drew at San Siro, where Hakan scored the free kick, we were depleted.
Depleted as well, yeah, correct. So
So
they've been getting lucky, and then what? Like I think they've been fortunate enough. Almost every single time we face them full strength, we give them a great game, and we end up winning. Sometimes, like it's really what happened was just that 5-0 loss is just so magnified, but most of the results go in Milan's favor for the most part. So
yeah, I mean, I feel good about this. Look, I think the performance was there against Atletico. If we're speaking on more recent performances, right? The game against
mhm.
Spezia, we had to grind a little bit to the very end, and more Brahim magic and Salamaker's
Great
magic
player.
into getting the goal there. Against Atletico Madrid, I thought we obviously played very good, much better this time around in front of our home crowd versus the game against Liverpool at Anfield. So there's
Yeah,
some positives to build off that. And when you look at projected lineups, which we'll get into, we'll throw the graphic up there. Shout out to Ahmad for stirring that up
yeah.
once again. Um, this is a big important game, right? Because you look at the matches that we have. I think it's 5 total matches this month, right? 4 away matches.
Yeah,
In,
yeah.
in no order: Bologna, Torino, Porto,
Yeah.
Atalanta, and
Roma.
Roma at the end, right?
Hmm.
So you have some important games here. You have a little bit of a mixed and a little bit of a break for international duty. So we want to get a victory here. I think Atalanta still haven't quite started, haven't gotten started, right? They're a team that typically starts a little slower, and then around this time, maybe a little later, they pick up steam and they're that offensive juggernaut. They're scoring goals and they're really tough to combat. So get them while they have
Hmm.
injuries. You know, I don't wish an injury on anybody, but let's face it, Milan have always been behind the 8 ball in that regard. So
Always us.
it's time that we get a little bit of a break here. Um, when coming up against a good team that has some key players missing, and hopefully we could take advantage of it.
I think we have a good chance of taking advantage of this, and you know what it is. I'm just more and more confident every single time we play a big team because of this. What we saw happen. Um, hey Joe's in here. Joe, if you want to go get a clip of this right now, you can. Joe Calvo, soccer guy 1300. He's
Shout
gonna
out,
be
Joe.
helping us out. So finally got him with this. Good luck on your midterms, buddy. Or hope you did well on them. Well, I was saying with the Atletico performance, I really don't want to harp on it too much because it was just a BS match in general. Matt, just the way they played, I've never been more proud or happy about a Champions League performance. Probably since we beat Barcelona at home that one time with the Allegri squad when we had like Robinho and Kaká. I believe it was that year. I was so proud of them that time because they were just fighting. The way I thought, we go down to 10 men at home. You face Atletico Madrid, a real tough squad that constantly has people running back and forth all the time. I I really thought with the players that they brought off the bench, Matt, are
Mhm.
unbelievable. I thought we could have gotten slaughtered. We did not. We played fantastic. Great finish by Griezmann. Credit to him. But just the grinding for almost 70 minutes worth of playing and the fact that it had to come down to a penalty that was non-existent for Atletico just to squeak on by. They were outplayed.
Yeah.
Milan now knows they're able to play at the highest of levels now at club football against some of the top teams, defending champions of Spain. Liverpool, a team again that how many times I have to say they're treble winning quality this season. Milan's battle tested. They went against
Yeah.
them. They've won all these matches now. Silver lining of Kessie getting sent off, Matt, he's rested. He's going to be able to play a full 90 within this one.
Against a former
Benacer
club too.
against his former club, who
He's got something. He's got to play. He's got to prove something.
He's got a lot. There's not a player more in Serie A at the current moment, in my opinion, that has to prove more than Frank Kessie does.
Yeah, he's got to prove something big time.
Speak on him, and it's just like the whole thing.
He's got to step up, guys, because I think Milan's team is better. We have no agenda here, right? Because I think there was at points last year where we were not hoping players like Gigio and Hakan make mistakes and all that stuff, but we almost looked to instances where maybe Hakan went missing to justify any agenda we may have against him and whether or not that would dictate the club giving them a new contract, right? So I don't want people thinking and confusing the two here that we're, the Kessie hate and the Kessie, propaganda that people are having here against him. That we want him to perform poorly. We like Benacer and Tonali better. We don't need Kessie. No, let's be real here, guys. Milan are better. They're going to be better if Kessie is Kessie. The Kessie we saw the last 12.
Think about how good they are right now, and he's not even like close.
They're playing really well, but we know injuries come up. We know different types of form come up, right? There may be form where Benacer's off a little bit. Tonali is not the same player he is right now. Maybe he goes through a little rough patch. You need to have all the depth you can have. So this is a big game for Kessie, especially heading into the international break, especially after the matches he's had recently. We're seeing Benacer and Tonali take great strides forward and look like the players that both we have seen potential in, yes, but also perform.
Yeah.
Kessie's got to show up. He's got to show up in a game like this and reaffirm to fans that he is a player that is of that caliber. But also, he's got a contract he's trying to play for. He'll get paid well regardless where he goes, but he's got to start.
It's not going to get as much as he anticipated at first, and that's a big deal. For me now, it's kind of funny because you would think there is some leverage to be said or had regarding him in his contract situation where it's kind of like, oh, now he's got to accept the contract. No, this kind of makes less sense for him to accept the contract at the current moment because he has less leverage than he ever had. Playing poorly, coming off an injury, looking lethargic. Listen, regardless if they were yellows or not on 2 fouls, everyone knows when you're on a yellow card, you don't try and make a risky attempt. And you just don't do it. And he did it, and it cost them. So, unfortunately for him, we need him to step up. I hope he does. I think he'll turn it around. I think he's too good of a player. I just hope he re-signs with us. I hope he extends. That's something that I really wish. But we'll see what happens regarding that. Matt, looks kind of like, again, Giroud won't be starting in this. It's going to be Ante Rebic up front. Leao. Oh, man. Am I making the rounds on me being right on this kid? Oh, I love it. I love it. It's just like calling. You know what's really funny, too? I just found a bunch of, like, other stuff. Like, oh, Milan's, like, depth has been terrible. Like, all these players that were worse than last year. We look so much better than we were last year, man. Honest to God's truth. Like, we look a lot better than we were last year. Alexis Salamakers looked much improved. He had a bounce-back match as well, Matt, in my opinion. The past 2 matches in Serie A, Salamakers been awesome. Never seen him as a better dribbler and creator than he has been in these past 2 matches. Had a pretty good match against Atletico, all things considered. Florenzi injury, I think, could maybe be discussed. Missing a month now, getting arthroscopic knee surgery on something that's been bothering him. Factor in, the few days he had it this morning. So, shave 3 days or so off of that. Get a couple weeks from the international break. Next thing you know, he's only 2 weeks away.
People see, anytime they see a player that's, going under the knife, right, surgery, the instant reaction is this guy's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks, and he's. I think it's fine, and maybe that's something that's attributed to him having a little bit of a slow start, right? I mean, he's had opportunities to start a little bit, to come off the bench, but he hasn't convinced, right? People are looking at like, Florenzi doesn't look like he's quite at that level, so maybe this is something that attributed to it, right? Maybe psychologically, because people have to think about. We always talk about what's going on between the ears. Maybe that's something that played into why he wasn't able to have the start to his Milan career that he hoped. So hopefully after the surgery, he's able to come back and then he's in a position where Stefano Pioli can choose him and put him in positions to help the cause.
I agree with that. I just think he was like doing some pretty good things offensively in that Atletico match, and then you just see the mental lapses on defense. Like primary guy for the first goal, second goal, not going to talk about it. So I discussed that with Football Kareem, who does great jobs with compilation videos and everything. Same defense, Kier back this week. Romagnoli will get his break. I think it's much deserved and needed. He's played really solid this season for us. I'm happy for him so far, even if I have some disagreements with people on the goal that Griezmann scored. I'm happy for him. Kier back is a good sight to see. Brahim, I think it was an interesting note to be had about what Pioli mentioned with Brahim is that he has some tendonitis in his knee, and it kind of worsens as matches go on. So I think that was pretty interesting to note that he has that, but also at the same time, it's not an injury. So the fact that he's going to be back for that is great. Leao a little bit of a break as well. I think we'll see Tonali eventually feature. Gabbia, what do you mean by Gabbia? Gabbia as a sub. I don't think Tomori will potentially need a sub. I don't think he got called up to the English national team, but I don't think he's gonna be starting right away. I think Tomori will be fine. He's young, he can handle this. And there's been a good amount of break, Matt. We have an extra day of rest on Atalanta as well. I think that's important to note. And I also think that, 5 days rest is pretty good. It's not awful. There's a good amount of rest here that we're talking about from Tuesday to Sunday. And we play the later game. I think there's an advantage with that. So yeah.
Can I speak on Leao a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
So it's funny, right? Because I think when we did our show ahead of the Atletico Madrid game, Brahim and Leao, I was so confident in. And I think, we've seen the numbers that Brahim has posted, right? He's had the performances, but when you're an attacker, it also feels a little bit more, you feel a little bit better about yourself when you can see assist on the score sheet or goal on the score sheet, no matter if it's happened, no matter if it's whatever. So I think that's the part I really, truly do hope and believe is coming around the bend sooner rather than later for Leao. Make no mistake about it. Like we always talk about, Alexis Salamaker's being able to get a goals and assist, right? When you're playing an attacking position, you have to be able to do those sorts of things. He gets hockey assists. We get that. We all know Leao has an impact beyond, scoring or assisting. But I think that's what I really am eager to see from Leao, right? When he gets into that rhythm where he's playing the way he's playing, but he's going to have even more confidence exuded when he gets goals and assists. And he's
and you talk about the confidence, attempting a bicycle kick in that moment.
Yeah.
That's confidence. You know what I mean?
I've been saying this, and we've been touching on it, and I'm sure
he's young.
There's when at this level and at this form, there's nobody in the squad that does what Leao can do from a skill.
He's more talented than
no one.
Literally every player.
Brahim, I love Brahim. Ibrahimovic, we know the names. Taking guys on, dribbling, all those sorts of things. Leao has that sort of special ability, and he has things in his locker that, frankly, other attackers in the squad don't. You see the stark contrast between him, Salamakers, and Rebic, right? Like how they all really are different players. So I'm hopeful that this is where we start to see ahead of the break, and the goal that he scored against Atletico Madrid. That's a great finish. That's a finish with a player that has confidence, right? Like to turn quickly and put that far corner. That's up against one of the best goalkeepers. So that's something to keep an eye on, guys, is seeing more volume, more production from Leao. And when that happens, it's Milan's attack is going to go to another level.
Apparently the stream ended for a ton of people. My computer did not crash at all. Twitch just does this trash from time to time, so it's probably going to upload 2 episodes. But again, this is why the full episodes now get uploaded to YouTube. So on YouTube, you should be able to see that there. So unfortunately, if you've missed everything of what Santangelo was just talking about, it was just really goal production with Leao. I think so too. And Matt, I said this. I'm just like, be 50% better of a player than you were last year. Leao's like 50% better. I'm asking like him to almost double his goals. if we're talking about like 14 to 15 goals with Leao, he was getting assists. His dribbling is just way more efficient than it's ever been.
I'm asking that much. I'm not asking. 15 goals is a lot. There's a lot of good players that don't score 15 goals. Dybala doesn't anymore, right? There's a lot of players that don't reach that tally just because it is difficult, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leao, 6 goals, 6 assists last year. Can you get me 10 and 8? 10 and 10? He's more than capable of it. He's going to get the minutes. That's where I think he can be. That's where he has to be, in my opinion. Yeah, the wig. The wig is the wig. When I saw him on just like with a serious face, like talking, I can't wait for the first rant with the wig on because it's gonna look so funny.
There's not gonna be a rant for this episode. I'm only doing this for the one episode. I don't know. I could maybe every time Maldini scores a goal, then I'll wear this. Do that. Anytime Maldini or Sandro Tonali scores a goal, I'll wear the wig post match. Deal. Joe, you can clip that one. So if Milan gets out of the group stage, the UCL, I need the wig. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. If we don't get screwed over. I think Leao is just Matt, and this is the perfect thing again. I'm mentioning you're a goddamn moron if you thought this guy was Mumbai. Like you're just an idiot. You're a pure moron. Just like you have no idea what you're talking about. You don't understand how the sport is played. You do not understand the type of talent that you're witnessing. Like this, like if you guys know Ahmed Badir, like he's just one of those. He's just like one of the funniest guys on Milan Twitter. That you can see like Badir ball. He said, I think it's exaggerated a little bit because I think Pato's just an absurd talent. But he was saying like this is our second chance at Pato. And I kind of understand where he's coming from with this because the talent is undeniable. It's sky high, through the roof. And there was a reasoning that everyone at Sporting was saying this was the best talent since Cristiano Ronaldo to come out of it. That's not by mistake. These people have seen absurd talents come through the youth ranks. Everyone that sees him, plays with him, coaches him, is around him in practice, even fans of the clubs that he plays for, everyone knows it. And you're slowly starting to see it. And the funny thing is now, too, Matt, is that everyone is kind of like, oh, yeah, and how old is Leao again? He just turned 22. He just turned 22. Where was Fede Chiesa at 22? Guys, if Twitch isn't working, just go to YouTube. Go to the YouTube then. That's fine. If the Twitch isn't working, just go to YouTube. If this thing keeps dying, don't ask questions about it. Just head on over to YouTube. It's just Milan Reports. There hasn't been any issues over there with that. I could try and drop it in the link right now for you guys, but just do that because I'm trying to do as much as I can, guys. I have to. There's like 50 billion things Matt could tell you that it takes a lot. Here, if you don't already, there's a stream via YouTube. Go and click that. If you're not there already. Because we keep on going back to one viewer. Twitch is being dog shit at the moment, so it's starting to piss me off. Yeah, listen, I think this is another great squad that he could face, Matt. I don't think Atalanta's going to have an answer for him, man. I genuinely don't. Like, we're talking about Lovato here as the main guy. Atalanta upgraded at goalkeeper. They played a good match against Inter, but they easily could have gotten wrecked in that game. They were a penalty kick away from allowing 3 goals in that match. And Inter was really poor with finishing that match as well. There was a couple of chances from Edin Dzeko that he just totally blew and choked that was kind of embarrassing for someone of his caliber. I don't think they're in the greatest run of form. They won their Champions League match. They beat Young Boys 1-0. Good for them. They were playing at home in that match. This one is catered to Milan. I think Milan should win this match. I think they should win it by a potential about two goals or so. So yeah, that's my opinion. I think that it could go down. Let me just. I have to get. This is so annoying. I need you helping me here, Matthew.
Sorry, no, I got some work stuff, like, loop me back in. Loop me back in. Sorry.
just how you think the match is gonna go.
Look, I have no reason to have concern. We've shown we can play against good teams, control games against good teams, and I don't think this should be anything different. Would it surprise me? Look, if a team like Atalanta dictates and has the upper hand at some points, it wouldn't, because good teams do beat good teams. We see this in every sport, right? Sometimes, like, good players, like old Ronaldo, can get by prime Maldini, and prime Maldini can stop R9. It's possible. So I'm not going to hold anything to Milan to get a victory here. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they
in Bergamo, by the way, again.
But at the same time, I have the confidence team. The coach deserves the confidence. The players deserve the confidence for the performances they've put in. So, with all that being said, I think this game is going to look more or less like we've seen against what we saw against on the front end of that Atletico Madrid game. Creating chances, playing with pace, playing with confidence, moving the ball around. That's how I see this playing. Milan's defense is going to have to do a job. We all know that, because Atalanta like to attack. It'll be interesting to see how they adjust without two of their main guys in the wing back positions. They do like to make those inverted runs, and those tend to cause a lot of problems.
And they're weakened heavily. Mela is awesome, but I mean the drop off.
They have good players though everywhere, Martino. I think people they know that Atalanta is a strong team, and they're very competitive. But I don't think people really understand, when you look at their full squad, wow, they have a lot of good depth too. So, I mean, like Malinovsky, Miranchuk, they got guys who could just beat.
Now that they got Muriel back, and now they have Zapata up front. Ilicic, yeah.
So, it's going to be a good game.
Has looked kind of lethargic so far. He hasn't looked that
good.
But
and
kind of look at his shape.
I find it funny, right? Because and I don't want to harp on the summer market, but everyone was saying we should have just paid the money for Ilicic. We should have. If he was playing like he's playing now for us, people would have said, "Why are we getting these older players?" Right?
Because people are stupid. This fan base has a lot of idiots.
I know that, but it's just funny how, and no one's talking about Jens Peter Hauger. It's all of a sudden when it's amazing, right? When you win, no one cares. No one cares about the other stuff. No one mentions it. No one mentions the fact that Milan got Fikayo Tomori and Paolo Maldini pulled that off, and Mike Maignan for those deals, right?
43 million between the two. Yeah.
You're talking about one of the better goalkeepers in Europe, and you're talking about, in my eyes, a player that should have long been involved with England at a higher level.
Should have been starting for Chelsea. He's better than Christensen.
Yeah.
Better than Rudiger. I mean, it's tough sledding to get in that squad and get some consistency in there, but it's pretty obvious where the quality lies. Let's not harp on the eventual Fikayo Tomori sale, because that is a likelihood. There's a good chance of it, guys. Really depending on where Milan moves in the direction, but I always think a player like that, his heart is going to rest back in England, and understandably so. So don't get too upset or harp on that stuff. That's a couple years down the road.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it now, and he's going to be a really good player for us, he already is. So Brahim,
Martino, did you see? It was Milan who put it out, because I know Romagnoli. He touched on how he's been playing pretty well.
The Di Marzio stuff.
Yeah. What do you? Yeah.
Well, we knew that. Yeah, we knew that. We said it here. Vito said it. Listen, they haven't even gone to contact Romagnoli because they wanted to resolve the Kessie situation first. We saw the wages come out that were reported. Romagnoli's making the second highest net on the team, only behind Ibrahimovic. I mean, gross salary. Excuse me, guys. This has been known. Another Mirabelli thing that trickles down into affecting the squad today. Semo was making a point of it. I've made a point of it. How many times you've made a point of it? This is what happens when you have a market like that. It is so hard to get rid of bad players or players that have been getting too much money that, listen, It's not that Milan does not want to keep Alessio Romagnoli. It's the fact that they can't keep Alessio Romagnoli for the current wages that he is asking and the increase and the wage commissions that Mino Raiola is asking for. In totality of it all, it costs too much for Milan at this current moment in time. And to be quite frank with you, Matt, he's actually not even worth that amount of money for the performances that he puts in year out, where we're saying he deserves more than Milan Skriniar. Does he deserve more than Stefan de Vrij? Does he deserve more than Bastoni? Does he deserve the same amount as Bonucci? I mean, or Koulibaly is another guy that you could toss in there. How much better is he than a Acerbi, who earns less than him?
Also, it's hard to rationalize giving. I mean, look, I like Romagnoli. I don't think he should get the hate. I think that's unnecessary. Just because a player decides not to sign with us, it's different. This has been the negotiations for this have been different than the Donnarumma ones. Don't compare the two. I know they got the same agent. Don't compare them because it's not the same.
Totally different situation.
It's just not. For as good as Romagnoli has served this club, he's not a starter. He's not a starting. He's not a CB1, a CB2. And the guys that are starting ahead of him, I don't have the numbers in front of me. You guys can correct me on this. Their combined wages are less than what that guy would make by himself in a year, right? Tomori and Kjaer combined are not making what Romagnoli makes. Am I right in saying that?
Of course.
There's no way they're making 6.5 combined or 6 combined. Tomori's probably 2.5 to 3, around there. Kjaer may be the same, maybe a little less. So the point I'm trying to make, guys, is that sometimes I hate to say it. Look, I would have loved to get sales on these players, right? We all would. But I think you have to also look at the back end of it and the fact that they're not laying out this big sum of money on a 5-year deal. 5 years, $6 million a year. What is that? 60 million gross? Whoever's better at math, crunch the numbers. But get players. Look how much Lazio's paying Immobile. Look how much Inter's paying Nicola Barella. If you can negotiate deals, you can get players of really good quality at affordable wages. Milan have done it. Look at your wage bill. You have a lot of these starting players. Teo Hernandez,
twice as better, twice as good.
Teo Hernandez is making 1.5. He's probably going to want to do a deal. Fine.
And we're potentially talking about Ibra and Romagnoli off the books next year too, where we're looking at. That's a lot of wages off the books. Say you make top 4 again, that's more Champions League money. I don't know what type of center back they would be going after. They could afford it. It's going to be center back and striker next year. You could potentially get Belotti on a free, right? And just add to that goal scoring. I think there's positive. Like, listen, I think it's going to be inexcusable if you don't sell Frank Kessie.
Yeah.
For a fee.
You have to know
Romagnoli, you got no shot. Romagnoli got no shot, and you got to keep him. For the sake of reaching top 4, you have to keep Romagnoli because look how important he's been so far.
Yeah,
look how important he's been. He's had a better season than Simon Kjaer so far, in my opinion.
And at the very least, I know Romagnoli will come to play, and he ain't getting a contract. At least it's established that he ain't gonna milk Milan for a big contract here. And I feel like there's a mutual understanding that says, like, we're at an impasse here. We're not getting a deal done. But I'm still going to fight. I'm going to put forth my best efforts. So Romagnoli's got a ton to play for on his end. Because if it's not Milan, then maybe it's Juventus.
He's going to
a ton of money.
He's going to Juve. It's going to suck.
So he's gonna put forth some good performances, guys. And that's going to be a big benefit of Milan. If he helps get Milan get top 4, you take it, and that's the end of it. I agree, with people saying that we have to sell players. I get that. Kessie's a
but also if people want to be here, they'll be here. If people want to cut their salaries and give fair salaries to the club, Calabria,
Maldini's been saying it too, guys. Maldini's been saying we've been speaking to his agent for the last year and a half. So for all the people
Kessie, that's for Kessie.
Yeah, for Kessie. For all the people that say, why are Milan waiting to the last second to negotiate these deals? Do you think they wait for the last 6 months to have negotiations for a new contract?
No, these people are idiots.
Guys, come on. I'm being honest. Like, you don't just say, oh shit, Cassie's contract's up in 6 months.
Oh wow, yeah.
We got to go negotiate a new deal.
Yeah, Maldini was too busy playing FIFA 22, and all of a sudden he's like,
It's ridiculous.
"Oh,
They've been talking to him. They've been trying to get a deal done. They've been trying. And if the guy's demands are $8 million a year, if the guy's demands are $10 million a year, fans would probably still say, yeah, but you got to pay him. They were okay with paying Donnarumma $12 million a year. They were okay with it. It's not their money. So
they were okay. They were, by the way, they were, again, like we said this multiple times. And Joe, you could even clip this. Milan are okay offering and paying a player that they think is worth a certain salary. Example, Gigio Donnarumma was offered more money than he was prior to last contract, which is a lot of money for a young goalkeeper and a goalkeeper in general to get paid. Milan was willing to do that, but Raiola and Gigio wanted more money. Okay, fine. There you go. It's over with. Let him go. He doesn't want to sign with this extension. He doesn't love the club as much as he portrays that he does. Fine. See you later. There's certain money that they're worth paying Ibra, even though they knew there was a risk with injuries and his age factored in. How often can he produce at a high level for Milan? Probably not that often. Next thing you know, there he goes. But they pay him for the amount of money, right? $6.5 million net. That's a lot of money paying for someone who already isn't. He's not even going to play 25 matches in Serie A. It's called space bait. The guy can't do it.
Yeah, he won't.
All right, but whatever he can give us, it's a bonus, hopefully, and he's brought a lot to the team, so I understand it for one more year. They have no worries paying some of these players. Like, it's really not an issue for them. Elliott has ponied up when they deem necessary to, and Maldini and Masada are at the forefront of this, saying, we don't think that we have to pay these certain players these wages because look at what we've done the past 2 seasons where we've only gotten better by playing certain players. And you know what? It might be chump change compared to other players and clubs throughout Europe. Don't get me wrong, but it's still a lot of money that these players are making. When you look at some of the high, like right now, Tomori is making almost as much as the highest paid player on Lazio. There's players on Roma, yeah, they have some pretty high wages, but at the same time, it's not nowhere near close to where Ibra's getting paid or Romagnoli getting paid or where Florenzi is getting paid $3 million net. This all adds up. At the end of the day, Milan might have slashed their wage bills by a significant amount. They also pay their players a lot of money compared and relative to a lot of other clubs.
You also
that's in a transitioning period.
You also look at, and we can. This is a rabbit hole that this is probably not the platform to do it right now because if it's more of a preview of the game coming up, right? But I think you look at the wage bill and what the quality of players we have now and how we're playing and what they're getting paid versus the wage bill of previous years when we were finishing 7th and 8th and 10th under Inzaghi, and look at what those players are getting paid. Montalivo, $3.5, $4 million. We're better off. We're a better team now, financially, on the pitch, the back office, everything. And you've seen how much time that takes. But it's something as simple as Milan pulling off a shrewd deal for Yassine Adli. And people are like, oh, we didn't get him now. It's like, yeah, but you're going to welcome up good, young, talented midfielder to your team for $10 million next year.
Having a good season already.
On low wages.
Yeah.
Like like you already have a midfielder that's sorted out for next year. So that's just them being proactive. And the wage bill just makes more sense when you look at it. Benacer, these guys are really good players, and they're getting paid, in my opinion, they're underpaid. They signed contracts, but they're underpaid relative to their ability and their potential. But that's how you negotiate deals, right?
Thanks, Admiral. Yeah. But not to harp on it anymore. We're around the 40-minute mark, so we kind of want to wrap it up. It's a Friday in the evening. Matt's got some work to tend to. I want to take my damn wig off already. I'm tired of it. It's itchy. It's just annoying. So, yeah, let's get into predictions. I think Milan is going to win. I think we're actually going to make another statement type of game where we get a result against the top side. This is our third top 4 contending side that we will be playing against. Point against Juve on the road, dominant win in fashion against Lazio. Now we have Atalanta heading to a positive and a high on the break. Get there, recoup everyone that's been injured. Ibra potentially could be back for that. Junior Messias should be good to go. You're going to get Kier, Bakayoko potentially, Rade Krunic. The list goes on and on. Milan should be good. I think we win this one 2-0, Matt, again, just like we did at the end of last season. So that's what I have. Everyone else, drop in your predictions. Matt, go ahead.
I got 2-1 Milan. I think it's a tall order to keep Atalanta off the score sheet. Now I know Milan have probably one of the better defenses from a statistical standpoint. Not only in Serie A, but in Europe, all over. Through, I think, 5-6 games, we've only conceded a couple goals, like 3 goals, I think. So we're capable of shutting down good teams. But I think it's difficult, right? Traveling to their yard to keep them off the score sheet. With that being said, I think Milan will still find a way to get to a 2-1 victory here. I like the way we're playing right now. I like the way that some of these younger players are taking big leaps in their game. And this was something that I harped on in the summer, right? Like, people were outraged why we didn't get certain players in certain departments. But I'd argue, I was saying, they're banking on Tonali taking the next level.
Yeah.
He certainly has. They're banking on Leao taking that next level. He certainly has. So I'm gonna go with 2-1 here.
All right. Yeah, if you guys don't already, follow us on YouTube at Milan Reports. Follow us here on the Twitch channel. Sorry about Twitch bugging out today. That's just a Twitch thing. That's nothing that we can do. No issues with my computer. The stream's been perfectly healthy on YouTube. So if you miss portions of it or came in late or came in a little bit later, you can go and view it on there. They all get uploaded on there, all the podcasts. You go follow Matt on Twitter, as you can see, at Matt_Santangelo. You go follow Vito on Twitter at Vito Angele. Follow Milan Reports on Twitter at MilanReports.com, C-O-M. Follow me on Twitter at Martino Puccio. We will be here. A good chance we'll be here after the match on Sunday against Atalanta. Anything else that I am missing? I'm just thanks to everybody. Fatiero, Paul, Sabrina's been in here. Joe making the clips for us. Chillis, Hagen Power, Alba Finn. No problem, Sabrina. Thank you very much. I appreciate everything. T-Plane was in here. Admiral, as always, messing around. CK, Claudio, hope you enjoyed the match against Atletico. Sorry it didn't go the way you were. Omar was in here as well. Nate the Great. Ari popped in, as he always does. Texas. I think I mentioned Nate. So, yeah, that's pretty much everyone else. Matt, any final thoughts? No. Hey, Dingbob Cliff. Make like a tree and get lost, you rat. I see what you're doing in here. And this isn't the first time you've done this, too. So if you have issues, you could just go and F off. Because, like, just tired of it, honestly. You do the same thing. Like he's being a rat. Yeah, go and follow Milan posts. Yeah, screw you. You go like screw yourself. Don't really care. It's just like a tiring thing. If you have nothing else to say, then just screw off. Go ahead, man.
No. Want to say thank you guys for supporting. And yeah, look forward to probably some halftime spaces, right? I think you're going to do halftime spaces.
Maybe. It just depends if I'm around or not to watch the match. Right. Got to hear back from that one thing. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. That's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for supporting. Forza Milan.
See ya.